to Pop Culture Sunday. On PCS, we review or discuss TV, movies, and other pop culture topics.
Hey everyone, this is Tamara from ShelfAddiction.com. Today on PCS, we're talking all about Season 1 of Luke Cage. If you don't know what Luke Cage is, find someone with Netflix and have a binge-watch TV day and check out the series. Joining me today is PCS co-host, fellow TV junkie, and indie author, Lisa Orban. Hey Lisa, what's up?
Hey Tamara, hi everyone. I hope everyone's having a great night. I'm so excited about Nick Cage.
Yes.
And I did it again. Luke Cage. Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
I'm gonna get this.
Awesome. So before we jump into Luke Cage, I guess we will kick things off with what we are drinking during our recording this evening.
In honor of Luke Cage, I am drinking margaritas in a mason jar.
Yes. Very enjoyable. I wish I had your drink instead of my drink. I ran out of wine, so I was forced to drink this vodka that was the last vodka I had in the house, and it was not that good, to be honest.
Oh, no!
To have the bright idea to try out the Moscato Grape version. It's nasty.
Oh, that doesn't even sound good.
It's nasty, but guess what? It gives me a buzz, so it's all good. Okay, well, let's jump into the lovely show of the hour. This show is so good, it actually deserved its own spotlight.
He's not a typical superhero. He doesn't have a secret identity. He doesn't wear a mask. He isn't hiding in the shadows. He is a regular guy, and he doesn't do anything to conceal his identity other than wearing a hoodie. So, I mean, he's more of a identifiable superhero. He's someone that a person could look at and go, yeah, he's like me. He doesn't wear a shiny costume or anything like that. So, I mean, it makes him kind of a unique superhero.
It does. He's definitely more of a touchy-feely kind of superhero. I mean, he's like emotional, and, this was the show overall, while it did have some action, it did have some violence and things like that, I feel like overall, all the characters, it was more character-driven.
And he's huge. God, he's good looking. But he looks scary.
Yeah.
And then when he talks, I mean, he has this really calm and soothing and really warm voice.
Yeah,
and it makes you feel safe. Sweet, gentle soul. It's kind of nice to see that for like boys, maybe, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to feel sad. You don't have to always be tough, to be a man. And I thought that was kind of a really good message that I got from it anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he, in my opinion, I kind of think he's like the reluctant hero. He doesn't consider himself a hero. Right. He just thinks he's doing what the right thing is, and that doesn't make him a hero.
He's doing the right thing, not to be a hero, but because he is doing the right thing, it is heroic. I mean, I love Jessica Jones, and, but Jessica will not always do the right thing. She is very reluctantly the hero. She will do the right thing when all other options have been exhausted.
I kind of throw Jessica Jones in like almost an anti-hero. Like she's a hero, but by default. Yeah. Like, not because she intends to do the right thing.
Like I said, only because she has no other options.
Yeah, exactly.
And even so, and the bad guys can even be sympathetic in that show.
Who are you sympathetic toward? Which bad guy?
Okay, I wasn't really sympathetic towards Cottonmouth, but I liked his style and panache. I mean, you have to admit, for a bad guy, I mean, he had style. But Shades, I didn't like. I kept finding myself rooting for him. Okay.
You just like the way he looked, and that's what it is.
No, actually, no. There's something about him that, I mean, he's a bad guy. He is a bad guy. But he's not a bad person. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's all helping Mariah Dillard, do all kinds of things.
I hate her.
He is trained. It's almost like he's training her, though. Like, this is what you got to do.
And I do not like Mariah. I mean, she's slimy. Mm-hmm. And I think part of the reason I like Shades over Mariah is Shades owns it. It's like, I am. This is who I am. But he doesn't go out of his way to be violent. He doesn't go out of his way to be mean. He does what's necessary, as opposed to Cottonmouth and opposed to Diamondback. There's a certain amount of joy they take from inflicting harm. And Shades doesn't. He does it because it's part of the job. Not because he's inherently cruel.
Well, Mariah Dillard's character was sort of like that in the beginning until one pivotal thing happened, and then all of a sudden she's like a monster in there.
I don't know. If you're going to be a bad guy, own it. And she didn't. I guess I didn't like her for it.
Oh, I know. All the way to the end, she was like, I don't know. I think she was just delusional a little bit, but she definitely owned that, that her cousin knew that she was a certain kind of person, and suddenly here it is.
But I don't know. I didn't find her a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
I actually felt a lot sorrier for like Cottonmouth. The story arc really revolves around family. What is family and what does it mean? And am I my brother's keeper? Was often brought into this.
But it was kind of funny. Like, I kept waiting, like, on a side note, I kept waiting for Claire and Misty to have like this odd like conversation, but when obviously Luke Cage started digging Claire, Misty was kind of like, oh, you guys are like an old married couple or something, she says, and I'm like, she just totally backs off. She just totally whatever. It's all good. Well, I find it interesting that Claire Temple's character, she is like the main thread through all these shows. She just keeps showing up again and again.
Yeah, she is all over the place, because she started off with Daredevil, very reluctantly helping him.
Right.
Very, with, and I do find it funny going from Daredevil to Luke Cage, and you can see a little bit of the transformation going on in Jessica Jones. But she has gone from, no, you leave it to the police and don't interfere, and you're going to end up getting yourself killed, and yada, yada, yada. And then by the end of Luke Cage, she's like this cheerleader going, go out there, be the hero, you can do it,
Exactly.
Stand up, be noticed. She brought that up like 6 times. I know a really good attorney, and there's a part of me that I was really hoping that Foggy would show up to defend Luke Cage.
I know, that would be awesome.
And I haven't heard anything about the next Daredevil, but it could be possible that Foggy's on his way down to Georgia to go save Luke Cage.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
You never know, man. But I do have a prediction. I've had that prediction since like the 6th episode.
What's the prediction?
The prediction is it's going to revolve around the doctor that turned Luke Cage into what he is. He's going to try and do that super soldier program. Because as soon as I saw him find the ROM that actually worked and had the information on there, he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, game on.
Well, you know what? It's the Defenders. Did you know that's what they called when Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist team up? It's called the Defenders. And that's actually scheduled for 2017. So I wonder if that's going to be like at the end of next year after they release a new season. Obviously Iron Fist comes out. Another season of probably Jessica Jones and Daredevil will come out before we see.
Now they are doing Punisher, right? Because I thought Netflix was doing Punisher and coming out in 2017.
Now, I heard a rumor that they were, but when I looked on IMDb, there's no cover art or anything for it. And the guy who plays the Punisher, he is in the Defenders. He's already cast in there. So,
all right.
I don't know for sure if they're going to do a Punisher. I know they did say they would, but there's no like absolute date, and there's no cover art, and it says the pilot is unknown at this time. So maybe they're going to shift things around. Could be.
I mean, they are coming out with a lot of new originals, but they really seem to be enjoying their heroes.
Oh, yeah,
and they're doing really well with them. So I'm sure we're going to see they're going to keep adding. And it's kind of funny because unlike the movies that are doing like Superman and Batman and Spider-Man, a lot of the ones that Netflix are doing are considered the traditional second stringers. They may or may not have their own comic book. If you say prior to this whole thing with Netflix, if you had said Jessica Jones, most of the population would have gone, who?
I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, and but if you say Superman, everyone, I know him.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
These are kind of, they're kind of second stringer characters. They do, sometimes they have their own comic books, like like Luke Cage did and Daredevil did. But a lot of times they're more often teamed up with other people and other teams, or they're thrown in together like the Defenders, and so they kind of do their own thing a little bit, but they're mostly together in a big group. So I do kind of I kind of like that, because sometimes, the second stringers are actually the more interesting characters.
Yeah, definitely. People shouldn't sleep on, like you said, the second stringers, because, and actually, Netflix is really genius. They're riding that wave, the Marvel wave that's doing so well in the theater, so they picked the right things to do. They really did. All right, you guys, that is it for our recap on season 1 of Luke Cage. We hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to find us here on this Tuesday, so it will not be a full week before you see us again, because we will be right here kicking off with the first episode of season 7 of The Walking Dead. This is something we'll be doing every week during this season, so you definitely don't want to miss that if you enjoy The Walking Dead like we do. So we will see you on Tuesday.